It's a goal! Can you believe it? It's extraordinary.
Magnificent weekend for South Australian footy. Both clubs get it done. There's one spot in the 8 and there might only be one team worthy. We'll take you through that, as well as what is going on behind the scenes between a key crow and the coach of Adelaide, Don Pyke. It's coming up now on Footy SA. Good evening and welcome to a massive edition of Footy SA. My co-host alongside me for the next half an hour is Bernie Vince. He was in Adelaide, he saw the Crows firsthand, and you're pretty impressed. Welcome. I was, yes. Good to be here again, Kane. Good for both teams. Port, unbelievable win. It gave them very little chance of doing that, so well done to both teams. That was a good weekend. Let's get straight into the show with Kia. Big moment number one. The V6 twin-turbo Kia Stinger is the West Australian Car of the Year. Josh Jenkins lost his place in the side for the second time this year. He's got 2 years left on a deal that is worth $800,000 per year. And there's rumours and there's reports of all kinds of things happening between Jenkins and the coach, Don Pyke. What is in store for his future? Well, I think Adelaide are planning for life without Josh Jenkins. Really? So I think they are. Well, they proved that by bringing Fogarty in, who was not in great form. But I think they're just thinking, well, this could be the future for the Adelaide Footy Club. So they just gave him a go. As I said, not off great form, but showed he can play at the level. As it sits, do you think Josh Jenkins will be a Crow next year? No. Yeah, I think I'm with you. Ben Hart was asked to address these rumours that have been swirling around since Thursday's selection call.
Didn't have a run-in. He had a conversation about not playing on the weekend, but he's contracted for 2 more years and I'm assuming that he's going to be around, so hopefully he will be. I'm assuming that he'll be around. The interesting part is they went in with just the one ruckman, Riley O'Brien. I thought if there was one area that Adelaide were beaten in, it was the ruck department.
Certainly were.
That probably did hurt them not having a second backup ruckman.
I feel they've had a run in though. That was well played by Ben Hart. Good media training from him. So I reckon they have off the back of that. You're doubting what he's saying? Yeah, well, he's played that down. He hasn't really answered the question, has he? He said it was more of a conversation, but there was something's happened. If you were Josh Jenkins, would you be unhappy with that treatment? He kicked 4 goals 2 weeks ago against Essendon. Yeah, he did. I'd be asking questions because I'd be saying, well, who's replacing me, which is Fogarty, and what's he done to deserve that? Because I don't think he's been in great form. So, albeit everyone wanted to see him in, and he did play quite well on the night, I thought. So I just think if I'm Josh Jenkins, I'm looking for opportunities to play at the level, and I don't think Adelaide's the right spot for him now. I think I'm with you. I don't think Josh Jenkins will be at Adelaide next year, and we'll wait and see. He didn't play in the sample on the weekend, so he didn't have an opportunity to go back, and Don Pyke's already committed to playing Fogarty again this week. Kia big moment number 2 was Adelaide. They were certainly up for the fight. I thought their first quarter was really impressive, and it was this that got them going, their tackling and their ability to score off the turnover. Certainly was, and they come to play. I mean, that's a bit of a loose term in footy, but you know what that looks like, and they did. Early on, they were very good, and Eddie Betts got them going early, and I think some important players for Adelaide were the guys that came in out of the SANFL who were picked off really good form last week, but some of their good players got going. I thought Tex Walker was very good, Eddie Betts was very good, as we mentioned, so good all-round performance. Although it wasn't their best performance of the year, that was just a game they had to win after the 2 weeks of, well, what do you call it? They've been under them. Chaos is probably a good word. Pump. And Eddie Betts came back in and he was terrific. Thought he started really strong. 7 goals between Betts and Walker, and Texas kicked 7 in the last 2 weeks, so he certainly improved his output. But they just got to play this guy. It's almost comical, the fact that he lost his place in the side, regardless of the year that he's had. He's now kicked 35 on the year. He's their leading goal kicker. Yeah. Just pick him and he'll pay you back. 100%, and we were a bit surprised when he went out. I think everyone in football media were very surprised. And the biggest surprise is the way opposition's talk about him. They were like, oh, Betts isn't playing this week. How good's this? We don't have to worry about him. He's someone you always have to keep an eye on, and he played quite well. What Tex did, he did really well with that finish. You know, he gets the ball in his hand. He's one of the more elite players in the competition. Just 12 touches, but made those possessions count. So they've got a big task again against West Coast this weekend. We'll get to that very, very shortly. Let's move on to Port Adelaide, because as you said off the top,
significant performance keeping their finals hopes alive. Robbie Gray was a key part of that. He kicked 4. He was also involved in a bit of niggle, but it was genuine Robbie Gray at his best on Saturday.
Yeah, he's a special player, isn't he? He's someone that people come through the gates to watch, and he's certainly living up to that at the moment. And to kick 4 in a game where, as I mentioned before, I gave him little to no chance of winning this one. Essendon in really good form. And not only did they win, they absolutely pantsed Essendon, embarrassed them. So well done to Port Adelaide. And they've kept, by doing that, they've $2 grand for that.
Just on that hit on Fantasia, $2,000. That's something that you would see a lot in football. That's the softest $2 grand. I hope they fight that. I hope they challenge that because it's disgraceful that he got $2 grand.
They won't because it's money.
$2,000 for that. That's comical, but he was terrific, as were the young guns once again. The 3 of them all played significant roles, in particular Connor Rose. He had 7 shots on goal, Bernie. 7 shots. Could have been a massive day. He kicked 2 goals, 5. 10 score involvements, 22 disposals. Dersma was great as well. He had 26, and the young fella Butters continues to play his role. But Connor Rosie is going to be a star, and you wanted it, you called it, and the bow and arrow was out again.
Yeah, he pulled it out.
There it is.
He might even get a mention in this next.
Good. No, but they're going to be a key part of their future, no doubt, and credit to Ken Hinkley for sticking with it and picking them, and you can see Kenny there pretty happy with the bow and arrow. He said, good boy, well done. Well done to you for getting up as quickly as you did. You're in position at the Kia Top 7 plasma screen. It is all thanks to Kia, home of Australia's best 7-year warranty. What are the 7 big moments?
Righto, let's kick it off. I want to kick it off with a bit of a US flavour. Ben Simmons and Dellavedova at the Essendon Port game. Have a look at him. Have a look at that chain around his neck. He'd have to have a sore neck at the end of the night. Anyway, what about this? This is more like cricket, isn't it? They didn't bring beach balls to the footy. What are they thinking? I like it, though. And what about this? Will Snelling kicking a goal against his old side. He's a good player, isn't he?
He's good.
Surprised Port didn't hang on to him, but obviously Port Adelaide having the last laugh. Speaking of good goals, what about this one from Sutcliffe? Picked up in the mid-season draft, remember? This guy's having a real impact at Port Adelaide at the moment, and really nice finish there.
His best game for Port on the weekend.
Yep, he's been very good. And this is what everyone has been waiting for, the big fog. What about this for a finish at a big moment? Look at the scores.
55.
Halfway through the last quarter, they're only up by 11 points, and he just went bang, and everyone in the stadium loved it. Not so much this goal by Butters, but keep your eye on him for a second. Tell me, what's that? Does he want a kiss?
No.
I'll give him a kiss if he wants one.
Want a kiss.
Right. Listen to this, Kane.
The Arrow Man. Very talented man is John Blake.
Sing us a song, you're the Arrow Man. Have you ever heard a song sung after you, Kane?
Don't think so, Bernie.
You know you've made it when that happens.
I hope there won't be, but John Blake is an absolute genius, and that's some of his better work. And that was the Kia Top 7. Bernie Vince in fine form. We'll be back to take you through all the big action from the weekend on Footy SA next. You are watching Footy SA. We're doing it all thanks to Kia, home to Australia's best 7-year factory warranty, and both coaches swung the axe on Thursday. I didn't see Scott Lycett's dropping coming, but anyway, Ken Hinkley dropped the big recruit, and he recalled Peter Adams for just his 3rd game this year, the big ruckman. And he didn't disappoint. He was in terrific form. Let's take a look at some of his vision, but his ability to compete and then follow up. He's aggressive, and they love him down there, Bernie.
Yeah, well, it was a big surprise to me when I first heard about it, but this is why they're picking him, because he's obviously coming in really good form, and they think he's a ruckman they can use going into the future. So, yeah, a bit of a kick up the backside, I think, for Lycett, and he needs to play well now to get back in, a bit like the Jacobs and O'Brien situation at Adelaide.
That's it. There's a couple of clubs circling it as well. Everyone's after a mature ruckman. Ken Hinkley says they are going to keep him, and he's going nowhere.
Extremely confident that he'll be playing at Port Adelaide Football Club. I think Pete's been a Port Adelaide boy his whole life. He's lived across the road. How much we want to keep him, well, we picked him today.
Extremely confident. Well, they got 4 of them. They got Hayes, who hasn't played as well. They got Ryder, clearly Lycett. and Latham. So one of them's not going to be there, and I think it will be Paddy Ryder, as we've spoken about at length on this program. Still remains out of contract, Paddy Ryder, so we'll wait and see if he's there next year. But according to Ken, Lathams will be there, and rightly so. He was also asked about Dan Houston, Ken Hinkley, and his move into the midfield. He was best on ground on Saturday.
Well, then you get hurt going back the other way, and players are conscious of
His
that.
ability to go in there, Bernie, and win the footy. He had 29, he uses it well, started his career across half-back and was impressive. But this has been a masterstroke from Ken.
Hasn't it? That was a real surprise. And do you reckon he obviously stays in there now for the rest of the year, because he's been a real find. And just some of his clearance and bullocking work, he's got a pretty big body, hasn't he? Like he was strong over the footy and found a lot of the footy too.
What they do like is they've got a lot of similar types in there, and Ollie Wines is due back this week. So you put Rockcliffe and Power Pepper and these guys, Boak, they're all contested guys. But Houston's ability to do that and finish on the outside has been something that's been lacking. So great move and great coaching from Ken Hinkley. He'll certainly feature in this weekend's votes, all thanks to Repco Authorised Service Centre, your local mechanic with a nationwide backing of Repco. Book your next car service at repcoservice.com. You got the 5, you also got the 9 coaches' votes according to the coaches. Darcy Byrne-Jones is putting together a stellar season. Robbie Gray for his 4 match-winning goals. Connor Rozee, I thought, was sensational, and Tom Rockcliffe continues to get plenty of the ball. So all 5 spots filled.
That's rare from you.
That is rare from me, but they absolutely deserved it. A magnificent performance from Port Adelaide. They take on Sydney on Saturday, and we'll wait and see if they can win 2 in a row.
Well, they let you down. Once again, I got my Port Adelaide tip wrong.
Don't get
wrong
sucked
again.
in. Do not get sucked in. Bernie, we'll also get your votes coming up, and we'll speak about the Crows game. They took care of St Kilda pretty comfortably. That's all still to come, as well as the big action in the Sandful right here on Footy SA.
Balfours and footy go together like grass stains on a Guernsey. To celebrate this perfect match, we're giving away a footy every day this season. Just share your perfect footy moment, tag Balfours Bakery and use the hashtag #TakeASpecky to enter. Whether meeting your footy hero, celebrating a victory or taking a specky mark. Balfours and footy, the perfect match. Go get 'em.
Thanks for your company on Footy SA. It's all thanks to Kia, home to Australia's best 7-year warranty, and OTR, who are making life easy. And you just heard there the Balfours footy promotion, balfours.com.au. Take a specky, share your perfect footy moment. Visit balfours.com.au. In position at the plasma again. He loves it up there for his OTR takeaway. When you need a kick in your day, get a barista-made tea coffee at OTR. Bernie, what have you noticed about a key Crow back into the side?
Looked through a lot of vision for you taking a specky. Never took one.
Couldn't find any?
Nah, couldn't find one. Didn't even actually take many marks at all. But anyway, back to the serious stuff. I want to take a look at Bryce Gibbs. Now, credit where credit's due. I thought he had a real impact on the game. It's this sort of stuff I really liked. His contested stuff, his tackling. He had 6 clearances, 5 tackles, along with his 30 disposals, or 29, I think it was. But look at this centre bounce clearance. He's just... I think he's found his niche now, and I think he's copped a lot of. Well, he's been out of the side probably 4 times, is it now? And I think it's just credit where credit's due. He had an outstanding game on the weekend, and hopefully now he can have an impact with the Crows going forward into the finals.
Did he look hungrier to you? Because that's been the knock on him, his defensive action.
Yeah, well, that's probably what stood out to me the most. His tackling, his contest stuff around the. Especially stoppages. I think he had 6 or 7 clearances and had a real impact in there, so well done to him.
Yeah, well done to Don Pike as well. Gave him more midfield minutes where he's clearly suited. Enough of the half-forward and half-back stuff. Play him on ball where he plays his best footy. Good stuff from you, Bernie. Let's see if he made it in the votes for Repco Authorised Service Centre, your local mechanic with a nationwide backing of Repco. Book your next car service at repcoservice.com. Matt Crouch, no arguments there. 35 and 2 goals was terrific.
He was outstanding, wasn't he? And Rory Laird set up across half-back as well, very well. And the big Texan kicking 4. I thought he stood up in some real key moments as well for Adelaide. And Brad Crouch just continues to have a great year. And that man, Bryce Gibbs, as we just touched on, had probably his best all-round game, I thought, for the year. So well done to him.
Thought Sloan was important as well. You see the leaderboard there. Brad Crouch from Rory Sloan, Travis Boak, Matt Crouch and Robbie Gray starting to make his move, but probably a little bit too late. Nathan Brown is in the house for our good friends at Sportsbet for all AFL matches this Friday and Saturday. With Sportsbet, your team goes 12 up at any break, get paid out as a winner. Conditions apply. dominating on the Sunday Footy Show in the absence of Tony Jones yesterday. Brownie, welcome.
Thanks very much, Kane. Burn. I was in Adelaide last week, went through one of those OTR drive-throughs, got a coffee on the way out to Lonsdale.
Good stuff.
It was good coffee, Kane. Loved it. Okay, let's get into the footy because I had a crack at Port Adelaide against Essendon. Now, I had Port Adelaide into Tommy Rockcliffe to get 30 or more disposed on a same-game multi. Rockcliffe got 27, missed it just by that much. So, Port Adelaide, short price favourites against the Sydney Swans. I reckon 1 to 39 might be where it is, either 40 plus. Can't see Sydney beating them. I don't think Sydney are in good enough form to do this. But then a massive game also, West Coast and Adelaide here, $4.15, $1.22, where there is some value. I'm not sure whether Adelaide can win, but Matt Crouch and Brad Crouch together, both to get 30, paying $3.60. They do it most weeks. They rack up a lot. So Crouch into Crouch to get 30 disposals, both of them. That is paying $3.60. Brownlow medal time. And Lachie Neale is still the favourite. Then Tim Kelly, 5 crips. This is the most open Brownlow. I think last year at this time, Tom Mitchell was around $1.15 for the Brownlow. The year before, Dusty was around $1.15 the same. So, premiership market, and it's even at the top. This is the first time West Coast have joined Richmond as the outright favourites. Geelong have just dropped a bit, and then the two Adelaide sides there at 67s. And the last slide we've got is the Sandford Premiership, starting to block up here. Adelaide, Port Adelaide and Sturt, all at $5. But Glenelg are the favourites. Good luck if you're punting. Gamble responsibly.
Well done to you, Brownie. We're going to talk about the Sandford action. A stunning result on the weekend, one that I did not see coming. We'll take you through all that. And then we're going to look ahead at the fixture. There's a big 3 weeks coming up for both sides. Who's going to get that last spot in the 8? We'll tell you about it next. You are watching Footy SA, all thanks to our great friends at Kia, home to Australia's best 7-year factory warranty, and also for OTR, who are always making life easy. A significant upset away in the Sandford on the weekend when last place North Adelaide took on first place Glenelg. It's our Sandford update by Balfour's Pie for a Sandford ticket. Scores were North Adelaide by a point late in the game when Darcy Bailey, good friend of the show, was actually crumbed the ball from centre half forward, rolled it through here. You can see this here. There's about 30 seconds to go. Just bounced the wrong way.
That was going through.
That is the last place North Adelaide take on the top of the table. Red hot favourites, as you just heard from Brownie. How about the score, Bernie? 4-15. They both kicked.
It looks like the sun's out. It's a perfect day for footy. What's going on there?
It was a perfect day. Yep, and that's just the 2 games on the weekend. South Adelaide got the better of Central Districts, who are really struggling, also looking for a new coach. And there you have it, 4-15-39. Maybe the wake-up call that the mighty Tigers needed, because you can see the ladder there. They're sitting nicely, 2 games clear ahead of Adelaide. 2 draws for Glenelg this year. That's interesting. Don't see that very often. Sturt, Port Adelaide, Norwood probably. There's the 5. Not sure whether South Adelaide can make it. In fact, they can't. Woodville, Centrals, Westies and North Adelaide on 3 points. Been a really
slowly making their way up, haven't they?
Tough year for North. Check out that promotion though. There's a lot of people getting involved in this. Buy Balfour's Pie for a Sandford ticket. Visit balfours.com.au. Get involved in that. Visit the website. Great South Australian company, Balfour's. Favourite Balfour's product? It's got to be the frog cake.
No, just the plain old simple
just
pie.
Your genuine meat pie.
Pie. And probably 2 of them with sauce.
2 of them with sauce. You have blown out. No, you're in pretty good shape.
No, I'm not that great.
You're in pretty good shape. If you missed the best bits of tonight's show, it'll be available on the SEN app. Just download that, listen crystal clear to myself and Hazy from 6 o'clock each and every morning. Bernie, it is a massive 3 weeks. Just in the ad break then, you had your phone out, you had the AFL app, you're scrolling through who you think is going to make the finals. It'll be one South Australian team. We're not sure who. Let's take a look at the fixtures as we get them up. We'll start with Port Adelaide. Sydney at home.
They win that.
North Melbourne at Etihad.
50-50.
Fremantle at home.
I think they'd win that.
2 out of 3.
Port Adelaide, I tell you what, I haven't tipped too many Port Adelaide games correctly.
No. So we'll give them 2 out of 3.
I think they win 2 out of 3, which means Adelaide need to win 2 as well.
2 out of 3.
To put them...
And there's their draw, which is a bit tougher. So they're going to start rank outsiders against West Coast away.
And they lose that.
Collingwood at home, win.
Well, Collingwood, That's 50-50 for me.
Oh, and Bulldogs in Ballarat, which is not easy either.
They could go zipping through.
Are you saying Port Adelaide?
I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
No, you just said the Crows are going to go 0-3. Port Adelaide are going to win 2. Means the Crows are out. Port are in.
Definitely would. I said they could.
You're supposed to be a Crows man.
No, they'll beat Collingwood, and I'm not sure about the Bulldogs. What if they win 1?
Well, then they'll rely on other results. But what we can tell you, it's going to be a thrilling last 3 weeks.
Has this ever happened where it's been Port and the Crows vying for that 8th spot?
I'm not sure.
There could be riots in Adelaide.
I know we played in a final
and on this desk
in 2005, and you got the better of us.
Yes.
Very well. But there will be fights. We're going to take you right through all the action. I haven't thought of a more exciting 3 weeks. Clearly, Port Adelaide are capable, as are the Crows. Can both clubs get their season rolling? Starts this weekend. Port Adelaide taking on Sydney Saturday, 1:40 at the Adelaide Oval, and then Adelaide have got the graveyard shift Sunday night in Perth. Hopefully both clubs win. Not sure the Crows can upset the Eagles, but we'll be back on Monday night to take you through the action. Enjoy your week. See you next Monday.